Hello, Hoodoo loves. This is Ms Avi. Some of you guys know me from Facebook, and some of you guys know me from here on YouTube. And to those who haven't met me yet, hello. Very nice to meet you. Welcome to my channel. I wanted to do a little bit of a different video because I've been getting so many questions about who I am, where I'm from, what my hoodoo story is, and little details like that. And I get it. I get it. It's like, who is this faceless lady on YouTube who's doing all the hoodoo? So I want to just take a couple minutes and introduce myself a little bit. The first thing that I want to say is a lot of people have asked, why don't you show your face? Why don't you put your face out there? The answer to that is actually that I am in a different business as well. I do have another business that I pursue, and that business caters very specifically to a younger demographic. And because and teenagers and children, and because a lot of people don't understand hoodoo, and it's something that does not have a very broad range of understanding, I choose to keep this separate from the work that I do over there. So that's why you don't see my face, and it just seems like it's more appropriate to let this be a place that that spirituality can be welcomed, and let the other, because it is a secular place, continue to be a secular place and not a spiritual place. So that's why I don't show my face on the internet in context of Hoodoo Delish. But to tell you a little bit more about me, I am 28 years old. I currently live in Texas. Let's see, any more facts about me. I grew up in the military. I was a military brat, and my dad was in the military for 25 years, so I moved all over the country. But I was born in Biloxi, Mississippi, and we actually lived there for quite a while. So I'm a Southern girl at heart, and my mama was a Southern girl as well, and I grew up with a lot of the influences of the South, the very deep South, just the food, the culture, and of course the spiritual heritage, which includes hoodoo. I had always been very interested in magic and the occult. It was just something I kind of had a knack for as a child even. And I think that I honestly knew about hoodoo and studied it for probably a good 10 years. I would say maybe I was about 14-ish when I really started to learn about it and to ask about it and to talk to people who practiced it and read about it. And I just kind of had this, I would call it an academic interest in hoodoo. And one of the things I loved about it was how down to earth it was. Some people who practice, especially things like Wicca, they will tell you there are things called high magic and low magic. And high magic is very ceremonial and measured out, and there's like right ways to do it and wrong ways to do it. And low magic is more like folk magic. It's, a pinch of this and a smidgen of that and a prayer over this and throw it in the oven. And it's much more down to earth and much more about just what people do in their daily lives. And that was what I loved about hoodoo, was how down to earth it really was. So that was kind of my only thing about it. I just liked it, and I had studied it a little bit. And when I moved to Texas, I went through a time in my life where it just, if you have those times and it just seems like everything is going sideways, it's like nothing's quite working out. The business that I referenced earlier, I was working on that, and it just seemed like it was going nowhere. I was in a relationship, and that was going nowhere. And then I did have another job at the time that was actually a very decent job, but it was working me to death. I would be working all day long, and then I would be taking bonus shifts at night, and I'd be working all night long, and I was making a good living, but as I would tell my friends, is that I'm making good money, but I literally have no time to go spend money. Like, I don't even have time to go out of my house and get groceries. I'm so busy all the time. It's just terrible. And then as things continued to progress, it just seemed like my career, on the other hand, got more and more stuck, and that relationship really started to unravel. And then on top of that, I actually lost that job due to a layoff. And it was awful. It was like my entire life was just falling apart around me. And that was when I really went back to what I knew about hoodoo and about magical workings. And so often it does take something like that. It takes kind of a time of desperation for us to come around to realize that we have this knowledge and we have this power. So I started actually practicing at that point. And I'm very type A. For those of you who don't know, I'm an Aries. In fact, I'm a triple Aries. And for the astrologers among you, I am a triple Aries, and all of my Aries is in the 12th house. So have fun with that piece of it. I really, when I approach a situation, I have like a list. I'm very aggressive about it. I'm like, okay, I want this, and I need this fixed, and I want that. It's like I want my career to get going. I want my lover back. I want my job to be like improved. I had this really strict list of what I wanted. And as I started practicing, I really started to feel like I was able to gain power in my life again, that things weren't just happening to me, but that I was able to make a decision about what was going to occur. And so that was where I became very passionate about it, and I really started to not only work, but to study. And as I saw results in my own life, and I saw my career start to move forward, and I saw my romantic life get better, and I saw my money situation improve, and I've got another wonderful story I could share about working with St. Jude and St. Joseph specifically, who are wonderful saints, and I love them both, but who they really helped me in the area of finances. And as I started seeing that, I was like, this is amazing. This is the best thing ever. I am happy again. I am doing things that I love. I'm able to actually have expendable income and not be working 73 zillion hours a week. I love this. So as I was doing all of that, I decided that I really wanted to start sharing with the people in my life who would listen. And I started first sharing with family and friends. And someone said to me, why don't you get on some Facebook groups about it? You share with people there and you can learn more. And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. Internet, it's a good thing. So I got into a bunch of Facebook groups, and I just started learning and sharing there. I met some wonderful people. We had some wonderful conversations. We came up with some interesting ideas, and I was put onto more resources, and I met some wonderful mentors through those groups. And then I kind of became aware of a weird problem that I was having, and that was when I would learn the basics about something, I would get all excited and inspired and want to go learn more, but it was really difficult for me to find more information. And the internet is a vast and highly disorganized place, and it was just getting really annoying where I was having to go to 15 different sites and 32 different blogs looking for one piece of relevant information to discover something. And I thought, I just need to start collecting all this stuff and putting it, like making my own collection of information, because I'm not the only one who wants to know this stuff. And as I started putting it together, one of my friends said to me, well, you should make your own page or your own group and you should start sharing it. And at that point, this is, several years into the story now, I had already been practicing for a while, and I had multiple different people that I had done work for, both friends and family and other customers or clients, I guess you could say, that were coming to me through different, mostly word of mouth. And then I said, I'm going to go ahead and start this page because I want to teach people about this, and I would like people to not have to have as much hassle as I have had in learning. So that was when I started the Hoodoo Delish page on Facebook, and it just kind of has gone and grown from there because, eventually someone said to me, why don't you do videos? Why don't you demonstrate how to do some of these things? And then somebody else would say, well, you need your own website. And then somebody else would say, well, maybe you could offer products. And it just has kind of been brought in slowly, one thing at a time, I think, as spirit leads me. So that is kind of who I am, what I'm about, where I come from, what Hoodoo Dalish is about. And if I had to sum up Hoodoo Delish, I literally named it because I consider hoodoo to be delicious. And that's to me, that's the most important piece about it. I genuinely love this tradition. I love how diverse it is. I love that it comes from a wide variety of different places and cultures and backgrounds. I love how much those cultures and backgrounds mingle and mix and share information and come up with new things. And I really do feel when I am in the moment doing a work, when I'm doing a candle for a client to bring back a loved one that they lost, I feel like I'm holding hands with every woman who ever lost her husband and wants him to come home, and every man who ever had his lover walk away and wants her to come back. And you know, I feel like I'm part of that spiritual community, both on earth and in heaven. So that's who I am, and kind of just putting it there about me. If you've got more questions, certainly feel free to ask. I try to be an open book, you know, as much as I can be with people, and I want everyone to know watching this video, I don't want to be your guru. I'm not here to be anybody's holy high queen of super duper amazingness. That's just really not who I am. I mean, I drink coffee, very partial to Starbucks. I have a cat. I have a weakness for 1980s hair rock. I'm just, you know, I've got fabulous nails. That's my thing. I love wearing my nails entirely too long. I'm just human. I'm a human being. And I love being part of this community because it gives me the opportunity to connect with you and to pass on things. And I came myself from a very conservative Christian background. In addition to my father being in the military, my mother was raised Pentecostal, my dad was raised Roman Catholic, and they met in the middle at Mennonite. So I was an oddball among the oddballs. You know, I'm over here interested in hoodoo and all this stuff growing up. Meanwhile, my entire family, me included, is wearing head coverings at like the long head veilings and dresses down to our ankles, and it's just so like I really completely understand when people come to me and say, I don't have anyone to talk to about hoodoo. I don't have anyone to talk to about my ancestors and my spirituality. I know exactly where you're coming from because I was there. But you guys have been a wonderful blessing in my life, and it's I've been blessed by my saints and my spirits and guides and angels and everyone, just all of the spirits around me have really opened doors for me, and this is what I do full time now. This is exactly where I want to be doing what I want to do, and for the first time in my life, I wake up incredibly excited to get to work. There's no dreading it. There's no feeling like I'm being worked to death. There's just the joy and enjoyment of talking to wonderful people every day, being able to give advice to those who need advice, being able to do work for those who need work. So I feel like hoodoo has really been the thing that was the difference in my life between success and failure. So for any of you who have questions for me, go ahead, feel free to post them in the comments, or you can get in touch with me on Facebook at my page, which is facebook.com/Hoodoo Delish. I am opening up a website here shortly. We're shooting for Halloween of 2016. That's supposed to be the grand opening day. So provided that I get it right, fingers crossed, that will be opening, and that'll be hoodoodelish.com. And then also you can always email me at hoodoodelish@gmail.com. But I love you. I'd love to hear from you. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you again back here some other time. Bye-bye.